Try this very quickly. Grandma's going to try to make a couple videos. If I can make it in one, that'd be great. So in the first problem, we're looking at if 70 and above is considered a passing grade for the test, then we're looking at the fact that you will need to look at every grade that is passing. So it looks like we've got 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 90. So it looks like I'm going to put the numbers right on top of here. Let's see if I can get my smartboard to work. Okay, so it looks like in this case I have 3 here, and I've got how many? 5 here, and then I've got another 1 here. But we can't count this one because from 60 to 69 it's not passing. So it looks like you got the answer right for that one. Okay, so we would just add 3 plus 5 plus 1. Okay, going on to the next one. The heights in inches of 7 basketball players below are listed. What is the interquartile range? So the first thing we need to do is put them in order. So I'm going to put them 70, 75, 76, 76, 80, 83, 83, and what's the last one? 84 and 86. Okay, I'm going to pull that over, make it a little bit smaller here. Whoop. So hopefully you can see that in the light. Okay, so then what I have to do is look at how many data pieces I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 80 is the middle, right? So that's going to be your median. All right, so if I look at this, then I've got 75 and 84 are the middle of the 2 wings. So this is going to be quartile 1, and this is going to be quartile 3. Remember that quartile 2 is really just the median. So in order to find this, I've got to take the quartile 1 from quartile 3, so it'll be 84 minus 75, which is 9. So you have the right answer for that one too. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Which of the following are measures of variability? Okay, for number 3, when we talk about variability, Gianna, all we're talking about is it deals with how the data is spread. So if we remember we talked about the mean absolute deviation, that just means how far is the average deviation from the mean from all of the data sets. So if we look at it, that one certainly tells you about the spread of the data from the mean, and then the other one is the interquartile range. So remember that what he's asking about is variability. How is the data spread out? So that's going to be the interquartile range. You can have a small interquartile range, and of course the average, the mean average, remember we called it the MAD. You can even look that up. I would probably look up these 2 things online. Google them, and Google them for 6th grade. Don't just Google them because you'll get all kinds of answers, okay? So there's 3, there's 4. Blake has a garden in his backyard. He picked 66 tomatoes from 6 tomato plants. What is the ratio? So when you set up a ratio, you want to say this is to that. This is to that, all right? So what they're asking for is the tomato plants to tomatoes picked. What is the ratio of tomato plants to tomatoes picked? So we want tomato plants, I'm going to abbreviate there, to tomatoes. In other words, we could say picked right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say tomato plants, he only has 6 of them, and then he has picked 66 tomatoes. So now what we can do, Gianna, is we can divide that by 6, and we can get an equivalent where you have 6 tomato plants for 66 tomatoes. Wouldn't it be true that if I had 1 tomato plant, then if I would divide by 6, I would get 11. So the correct answer here is 1 to 11, or D. Now, for the next one, we have, if the train that Megan is riding covers 160 miles in 4 hours, then if you take, remember, if you have something, think of something that's familiar, like how fast someone drives, 60 miles per hour. So the per is that line here. That really means divided by 1 hour, but we usually don't say 60 miles per 1 hour, we just say 60 miles per hour. So if you have 160 miles that Megan travels, she travels that per every 4 hours. And then what you're going to do is you're going to divide that. You're going to just say 160 divided by 4. Of course, this would divide as a fraction, a shortcut, where you get 40. 40, and we would write it as miles per hour. Okay, so 40 miles per hour. You picked the right answer, I think. That looks like you lettered it in there. So what is 90% of 50? 90% of 50. The one thing you have to remember about percents is that you have to change them to, let me get to the right page, to decimals. So what is? The thing that I remember is that is means equal, okay? That means equal, and of means multiply. Okay, so now let me erase this, and we'll just do a straight conversion. Man, my sport board is not being so smart lately. Okay, so here we go. I like the way the blue pen looks. So we're going to change this. What is? You don't know what that is, so that's your unknown. So that's going to be, I'm going to change that to x. Then I've got this is. Is going to be my equal sign. Okay, is means equal in mathematics. So then you have this 90%. What you're going to have to do is you're going to change it to a decimal. Now, here, let me do this over here. 90% is equal to 0.90. Or if you think of it like this, 90 per 100. If you do the division, you're going to get the decimal 0.9. So you're going to write it as a decimal then, as 0.9. Okay. So the 90%, you're going to write a 0.9 because you can't multiply with this percent. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take of, and maybe I'll put the symbol in there for multiplication. Of means multiply. So you've got multiplying that. I'm going to put a dot there. So that's your of. And then you have 50%. I need another color here. So we're going to go, let's go orange. No, I can't go orange. I'll go turquoise. All right, so then we have 50. We're just going to put that in here as 50. So there's my equation. X is equal to 0.9 times 50. When we multiply that, we get x is equal to 45. 9 times 5 is 45. So 0.9 times 5 is then equal to 45. And we'll circle the answer. I think I might be able to get this done in one video. So Roger is buying a new pair of shoes for 25% off. The original price of the shoes was $70. So the original price of the shoe is $70. And it's good when we can buy things. And I'm going to write that. That's the original. When you can buy things on sale. So the question isn't saying how much is he paying. It's saying how much is he saving. So he saves 25% of 70. So that's what he saves. Think in your mind. 25% is a quarter, right? What he saves is 25% of 70. So with that in mind, then, he saves 0.25. Remember, of is multiply. So I'm going to put a little dot there. 70. So that's what he saves. Okay, so if you multiply that out, 0.25 of 70 should be $17.50. I think. Can I do that in my head right? Okay, $17.50 looks like that's what it is. Get mommy to check that with your calculator, or you check it with your calculator. I'm going to stop this video now and send you one more after that.